Happy New Year! Welcome to another Shed Sunday session. Congratulations to all of you guys doing dry January. You're all halfway there, doing all right. I thought I would, well, first of all, apologies for not doing one last week. But you've been following what's happening all around the UK at the minute. Some horrific floods. Our centre, Leicester Outdoor Pursuit Centre, got absolutely battered. I've been there for 15 years now, never seen anything like it. The water came into the building sort of knee deep, carpets gone, a lot of the office furniture. It actually got into the electrics, so we've had the Sparky around trying to sort all that out. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mess. So yeah, coming into the garage, take my mind off that for a little bit, and looking at what's ahead in January. The next week or so in the UK, the weather is really meant to change. It's not been overly wintry the last winter, the last couple of weeks, months or so. It's been wet. It's not been cold. Actually, standing here, I can just about see my breath. But the next couple of days, especially where I'm in Leicestershire, it's really going to drop down to -5 to -10 degrees. And it made me have a little think about what we do when it does drop that cold. Not that it's that common in the UK, but when it does, and we're out and about, what we're doing for sort of our fire type activities. Because where we are, you can't just rock up to woodland and light a fire. So a lot of us do rely on stoves. So I thought I'd have a little look at a few stove options today, and considerations that you might want to take moving forward, using them in the lower temperatures. Apologies if I keep on looking up and down. I've got a second camera running because I've had a few issues with the lives recently. But yeah, so first stove we're going to look at, something I've been using a little bit sort of more regularly now, your classic solid fuel type stove. Now these are, these get issued with sort of army ration packs, a little foldable. You drop the tablet in the middle, and I love them. One thing I'm not too sure on is getting the measurement right. How much of a tablet will do one boil? So whatever I have, I tend to overdo, and then ensure that I do get my water ready for my brew. But something that I often struggle with is actually lighting them. You go sort of break them down, crumble them, and getting onto an edge. It can be a little bit fiddly using matches or a lighter. Almost impossible with a ferro rod, especially these hexamine blocks that come with this stove. And thinking now, if it's going to get a little bit colder, dexterity issues, using a lighter is going to be a bit trickier. So we'll come up with the idea, take a little block, is we can actually prime this. We can add something on here just to make life a little bit easier. And it's not, we're not going very far-fetched. This is all stuff that you're probably carrying with you anyway. We've got some alcohol gel. Great thing about this is we'll get it all over the fuel. And then you just have to light the gel itself. Now that's gone. And that, you can make that out. You don't need to do anything now. The gel will spread all over the fuel tablet, and that's ready to go. That will burn. If you're wearing gloves, I should pop that out because I'm inside. Wearing gloves, or struggling, you've only got match. I reckon, let's have a little play. I reckon we can even get that going with sparks off a ferro rod. What do I reckon? Yep, there we go. So no mess, no fuss. Quick and simple. You're probably carrying it already. A little bit of alcohol gel. Ooh. It's that effective. Jobs are good. We'll pop that to the side. Alright, so other stoves that we might be familiar with, the alcohol stoves, so the Trangias. Big fan. I do a lot of D&V type expeditions, and they all use Trangias, methylated spirits or denatured alcohol. I was out just after Christmas. It was absolutely tipping it down. I was in the woods for a while. It wasn't overly cold, but I had to have like sort of 3 or 4 attempts at getting my little burner going. The fuel had just been in the bag. Maybe that cooled down, maybe that had an effect, but something I wasn't aware of until fairly recently was these alcohol burners where the fuel sits in the sort of reservoir there. But actually you can make out there is a depression all the way around the outside of the burner, and we can use that again to prime the stove. So I've not got a huge amount of fuel, but I've got some in this one here. So I'm just going to prime the outside with what I've got. Again, and just see that makes little difference. What that's going to do is going to warm up the outside of where the jets are, and the fuel inside will warm up the inside. So it's a two-pronged attack, if you like. So that's got it going on the outside. So you can just about make that out. You don't want to pick that up, so we'll definitely spill it all over the garage. But very quickly, that will warm up. The casing of it, both sides of that chamber that makes the alcohol stove do its thing. So just be careful with all the fuel that I've got sitting around here. Now the third option that we're going to look at is our gas stoves. All right, these are belt and braces for any sort of camping expedition. You can control them fairly well, and you carry the canister around with you. But what a lot of folk don't realise, you slosh the canister around inside. There's a liquid in there, but because that's pressurised, as soon as gas escapes, it evaporates, or it boils really, and it's the vapor, the gas that we're burning off rather than the liquid. Now inside these canisters we've got butane and propane. Butane has a boiling temperature of -1 degree. It's actually -0.5 degrees Celsius. So at that temperature or below, it actually won't vaporize when it's coming out of the canister. So this is a what's this? This is a Coleman Performance, and this is a butane propane mix. So burning that off at below freezing, all that's going to happen is you're going to burn the propane and get left with the butane inside. So it's not a very efficient, effective burn. So a couple of things we can do. Well, I can keep that inside my coat, keep that warm, keep it covered up. You can get a little snug cozy for it. Okay, for those that are going to higher altitudes, or you're out and about in the lower temperatures more often, we can plan for that. And then there's a third gas that we can use, is isobutane, which has a boiling point of, I think, -12 degrees. So anywhere down to that temperature, burning one of these gas cans in a stove, as long as you're above -12, you're going to be getting the full effect of the whole mix. Now, if you find yourself with a butane propane mix, and it is a little bit cooler, below that -1 degree Celsius, what you can do, little trick, if you've got, all right, oh, well, there we go, that alcohol stove's burning away nicely, so that priming the outside did a grand job. So I'm just going to pop that out as well. There we go. Slide that over. So we're going to look at our third sort of little trick. You're carrying water with you, and that's not frozen. What that tells us is it's going to be above 0 degrees. So if we can pop that in a little container, a little bowl. Okay, we've left our canister get quite cold. Okay, so I've just got a variety here. So that Primus Power, that's got the isobutane, so that's good down to -12. This is I don't even know what brand that is, a gas cartridge, and then the other one was a Coleman. Both of them were this butane. But if you'd let that get cold, what we've done, a little dish of water, and I pop that in there. Okay, now that water is above 0 degrees. That is now going to cover round the can, and that is going to get the can to the water's temperature. So as long as it's above that -1 degrees, it will vaporize. The butane will vaporize when we get the stove going, so you're going to get maximum efficiency out of that stove. It's a little bit messy, a little bit, you know, you don't want to spill that in your tent, but just a useful little thing to know to get the most out of your stove. So there we go, three things we've looked at this evening. The solid tabs, popping a bit of alcohol gel on there is a bit of a primer. Easy to light. We proved it. We did it with a ferro rod. Priming an alcohol stove using that outside lip and pouring some of the methylated spirit, so the denatured alcohol in there, to warm up the outside of the chamber, while lighting the middle will warm up the inside, just to get it up to speed a little bit easier, just helping on those cooler days. And finally, warming up our gas canisters, either butane mix, either keeping them warm inside our coat with us, or getting them inside a bowl of water, anything that's above that -1 degree Celsius temperature. So cool, hopefully you found some of that useful. Hopefully it's new information for you, and hopefully you can get out in the next couple of days when it gets a bit chilly and make the most of it. So until next time, folks, thank you very much. You guys take care.